All right, happy Saturday night, everybody. We are live talking about the forecast. We have the tropics that are active. We have a hurricane that's expected to move into the Gulf later next week. We'll talk all about that and what to expect here in San Antonio for the first couple days of fall. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below and join the conversation. We're talking all things weather for the next 20 to 30 minutes here on Ken's 5. I want to make sure and double check my audio is working A-OK. Sounds perfect. Okay, guys, again, if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. Earlier on Thursday, the drought report came out. It comes out every week, every Thursday, and this one showed some minor improvements. It's kind of going back and forth through the month of September so far. Like, for example, a couple weeks ago, it was a lot better, and then since we haven't been getting any rain recently, it's been kind of worsening. Between Bandera County, San Antonio, towards the hill country. We'll take a closer look at the drought in San Antonio in a second, which, by the way, I'll bring that up right now, actually, before I forget, because I do have a graphic that shows the localized county area for drought. But anyway, currently, as of Thursday, 35% of the state is in drought. That is down from 83% this time last year. So it has improved vastly. We are moving in the right direction. And also those other categories are separating by dry category, moderate drought, severe drought, and extreme drought, which is indicated by the red and maroon colors, the worst level of drought, which is exceptional. It's the maroon color. Now, we do have a pocket of extreme drought in our area between Uvalde, Medina County, and parts of Bandera County. But notice San Antonio, technically the southern part of Bexar County is not in drought. It's just very dry. Moderate drought between Bernie, downtown San Antonio, and more severe drought from Bandera to Utopia and north of Hondo. So again, things are looking upward. We've seen pretty good rainfall so far this summer, and so far this year for 2024, we're doing fantastic, but we do need to keep up with the rain. We haven't seen much in the last several weeks. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we have opportunities at seeing some spotty showers, maybe an isolated storm. But right now, the rain chances are looking pretty low. I mean, there may be a couple of isolated storms by Wednesday, but 30% at the moment is the best we can do in the forecast. Now, speaking of next week, on Sunday, let me just double check this real quick. Next week, this banner is just, let me see. It's for some reason it's invisible. Bear with me, guys. Give me a second so I can fix this. Good evening, Sarah and Sheila. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. So just to summarize, tomorrow is the first day of fall, everybody. That's what I'm trying to say. But for some reason, it's not popping up. The title is not popping up. So let's just see if I can bring this out. I don't know why this isn't the scene. There we go. That is really weird. All right, there we go. So tomorrow is the autumn equinox, or the first day of fall. It's not going to feel like it, unfortunately, but this happens every year. Obviously, we have 4 seasons. You got spring, summer, fall, winter. Had to remember that. And this year, between late September, early October, you enter into the fall season. And basically, what this means is, as we rotate around the sun, we're entering a time of year where sunlight is directly hitting the equator and is dispersing equal day and night in general across the globe, as opposed to the summer solstice, which we're kind of tilted towards the sun. That's why it's hotter in the summer season. And then during the winter, as we rotate around the sun or revolve around the sun, we're tilting away from the sun, and that means temperatures are a lot cooler. The jet stream gets a little bit more active and cold fronts move through. So this just means days are equal and nights and day not fully equal. The night might be a little bit longer than the day in minutes, but that's pretty much it. But yeah, tomorrow marks the first day of fall here in the Northern Hemisphere. Also, let's look at today's numbers. Again, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. Marcella, good evening. Hope you're having a wonderful night. Today was hot. Yes, it was extremely warm. 96, matter of fact, from a low of 78. Normal's 89, so we're soaring past the normal right now. This is considered a heat wave just because of the last several days have been above average, and we're continuing that trend at 95, 96 degrees. So we're maintaining this heat wave, unfortunately. We're cooling down slowly, but it's humid outside. 71 the dew point, 87 degrees the air temperature, meaning it feels like 93 with so much humidity out there. 97 the high temperature today in Hondo. There were no hundreds on the map earlier this afternoon, so that's the good news. That's moving closer to fall, I guess. Lower 90s in the hill country, 98 in Cotulla. That's probably the hot spot today down I-35. Here, current temperatures. Right now it's 81 at Rock Springs, 89 at Del Rio, extremely humid, very warm. Radar was very quiet today, it's bone dry, but a little active to our northwest. So if you're traveling towards Lubbock, the Panhandle, towards Abilene, anywhere along I-20, a couple of storms getting a little severe off a boundary between Amarillo, Lubbock, and maybe near Midland and Odessa. And you can see where these orange boxes are. These are indicating severe thunderstorms, producing hail and some rotation. This is one particular near Plainview, east of Littlefield, and west of Dallas and Fort Worth. This is way in the Panhandle, right? South of Amarillo. So stopping the clock, this is a severe warning for counties. Hale County, does include hail sensor until 9:45. That is the far northern part of the Texas Panhandle. More severe storms northwest of Midland. This is for Andrews County until 10:15. This is west of Lenora and east of Kermit, east of the Guadalupe mountain range. And this is what typically happens, right? We have these boundaries move through, and these mountain ranges kind of offer up a dividing line that kind of separate humid air from dry air, and that boundary helps pop off thunderstorms. And at this time of year, depending on the setup, can be pretty strong to severe, and that's pretty much all the action there is across the Lone Star State. You can see back here at home, it is very quiet and very dry, so something to keep an eye on. Tomorrow's forecast is going to be a lot like today, 95 to 96, morning cloud cover, turns mostly sunny. It's going to be another sunny day, but again, average is like 89, so this is way too warm, especially with tomorrow being the first day of fall, the autumn season, and tomorrow will be about 7 degrees hotter than average, even for a first day of fall in Texas. Tomorrow's forecast, lower to middle 90s, again 95 to 96 in San Antonio for a high. There will be a few areas in Del Rio, Eagle Pass, out west that maybe hit 96, and then we'll have to watch out west for a couple of showers along the Rio Grande, south of the Big Bend area. Northern Mexico, this happens again. The mountain ranges help fire up storms, and sometimes they travel farther east, but with no upper level support, the weather setup right now is just not conducive for long-term and long-track thunderstorms. So right now the rain chance is 0 for tomorrow. Looks a little bit better by next Tuesday and Wednesday, so a few days out from now. Meantime, tropics, it is hurricane season. First few weeks of September are typically extremely active. Of course, earlier in the season we had Beryl and other storms, and let's see, we have this one right here. So this is not a named storm just yet. Hold on, before we go forward, I want to double check on the progress of 2024. So we have not seen Helena yet. Isaac and Joyce, all those three names are next on the list for hurricanes, and I'm sure we'll see them sometime next week. Gordon was an open Atlantic storm, just kind of floating in the middle of the ocean, didn't really do much. Francine was a Category 2 that made landfall in Louisiana last week. But now we're on to the H storm, and you can see as we switch graphics, give it a second to load, the Gulf of Mexico is lighting up. Now, this is for an area of interest. This is for a tropical low that's not organized just yet. This is right here. This is it. There's no defined center. There's just a cluster of storms trying to wrap around a broad area of circulation. Now, as it moves farther west towards the Western Caribbean, the Yucatan, Cancun, southwest of Cuba, right in this red area is where we're giving it a high chance at tropical cyclone formation, meaning tropical storm, hurricane. Next name on the list is Helene, I should say. I keep saying Helena, Helene. Now, you zoom out, there are other couple of areas of interest in the Atlantic off the coast of Africa, north of the Caribbean. Obviously, these are a long ways out, nowhere near land, and they're more areas of interest than concrete tropical storms. Nothing's named yet. But this has the highest chance out of these three areas over the next 2 to 5 days. I think by Monday and Tuesday we have a tropical storm, which, by the way, from the looks of it, will be Helene. And then Isaac and Joyce will probably be the following names in the Atlantic Ocean. Now, this is setting its sights somewhere in the northern Gulf of Mexico. I think anywhere from Houston to Florida needs to be on alert watching this system because there's still a lot of uncertainty on what could happen. There's not even a defined area of low pressure yet. There's not even a storm center. And until that happens, we don't know exactly where this is going to go. All we know that this area between Mexico and the Gulf of Mexico, or the Yucatan and like Louisiana, Florida, the northern Gulf, I should say, has a pretty high and favorable chance at seeing a tropical storm or a hurricane spin up. Now watch what happens. We progress this through Wednesday and Thursday. This storm really strengthens, probably into the next hurricane of the season. Now, this particular model, this is the GFS model, the American model. It's saying probably anywhere from Alabama to Florida is where it's aiming its landfall. Now, this is one of many numerous forecast models that some of them are putting it towards Louisiana, some are putting it towards the western coast of Florida, this one putting it towards the panhandle of Florida near Alabama and Mississippi. So just the bottom line is that we know that there's a storm and a hurricane that will likely form in the next coming days, probably by Monday and Tuesday, but we don't know the exact details of it. We don't know the exact track. We know it's going to move north. We know a trough up farther north will help pull it towards Florida. But still, in general, a lot of uncertainty in the forecast. Heads up for anywhere from, again, Houston towards Florida between Tuesday and Saturday next week. That time window is when we're going to be watching it, and then also when it'll make landfall sometime between Thursday and Friday is what we're looking at. But yeah, so it's hurricane season. Again, September marks the busiest time for tropical storms and hurricanes. October is also relatively busy. It's not until November it starts to really wane down, and hurricane season officially ends on November 30th. Hey there, Guadalupe. I hope you're having a wonderful night. Thank you so much. I'm doing fantastic. You're welcome for the weather update. Even some 80s would be nice from Marcella. I know. We do have a few 80s in the forecast next week and the week after, but most days trending right around 89 to 91. That's pretty much the fair range we're looking at for most days. Some days a little cooler, especially in the mornings. I think by next Thursday and Friday, the mornings will feel nice again. We have a front that's expected to move through, and that will drop humidity and drop the temperature down a few degrees, hopefully. We're hoping for that. But yeah, fall is tomorrow. It officially begins tomorrow, guys. And remember, it's still hurricane season. It still can get hot in fall here in Texas, unfortunately. And it's not until pretty much November where it's consistently cool, because it can still be pretty hot through October. I remember last year, if you remember, Halloween was pretty cold. We had highs in the 40s and 50s the day before and on Halloween day. So cold fronts start moving through in October, but consistently cool, like day-to-day, chilly air temperatures in the mornings and nice air temperatures in the afternoons. That's not until November, really, towards Thanksgiving. So, hey there, Cisco. Hope you're having a wonderful night. Happy Saturday. Tomorrow is Sunday. If you have any plans outdoors tomorrow, it should be fine. It'll be hot, morning clouds, afternoon sunshine, highs right around 94 to 95. But if you're just joining us, tropics are active. There's nothing named yet, but forecast models are depicting a developing storm and hurricane next week, primarily between Monday and Tuesday, and then making landfall somewhere between Houston and Florida Thursday night and Friday next week. So that's the 27th, I think. Let's double check. Yeah, so this particular forecast model is showing into the future. So this shows Thursday at 6 p.m., the 26th and 27th. So heads up if you are traveling down I-10 towards Louisiana, towards anywhere in the southeast, towards Florida between Thursday and Saturday next week, because this storm will probably be making landfall. And regardless of strength, bringing rainfall and some gusty winds for the southeast United States. Yes, I am enjoying my day, Cisco. Thank you so much. I'm here at work forecasting the weather, but this is what I love to do. And I love hurricane season. I love forecasting hurricanes. I love doing everything regarding weather. But the summertime can get boring. I mean, it's always hot. It's day-to-day hot. So now that we're entering fall tomorrow, it finally means changing weather and more comfortable weather, hopefully by October and November. So, but thank you so much. Yeah, so that's a look at the tropical forecast. Again, Florida towards Louisiana on high alert for next week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, for a potential hurricane. This is one of many forecast models. Some put it farther east towards Tampa Bay. Some models put it towards Lake Charles, Louisiana. So bottom line, there's a lot of uncertainty in the forecast. We know that something will form. We just don't know the exact track. Not until probably Monday and Tuesday we'll get better details and refined information on that as well. Guadalupe, you're very welcome. Absolutely. Good night and have a great weekend. Yeah, you too, Guadalupe. Hope you have a wonderful Sunday. Spend it with the family, the friends. Tomorrow will be a nice day. It's just going to be hot in the afternoon, 95 degrees. And yeah, just to reiterate, so that high pressure will push it farther north, this tropical storm, towards Florida, the southeast United States. But by Wednesday and Thursday, what helps it pull it farther north towards Georgia, towards Alabama as it makes landfall, will be this area of low pressure right here, trying to point towards it. And what this will do for San Antonio is push a cold front in our way. Now, it's not going to be strong. Just want to put that out there first and foremost. But it will usher in some drier air and bring down temperatures a few degrees. And that is something to root for, right? Tomorrow, 95. Monday is 95 as well. 93 Tuesday. You can see temperatures kind of go down a little bit thanks to that frontal boundary. By the midweek time frame, the 25th to 26th. Again, that hurricane will be making landfall somewhere east of Texas. Anywhere from Louisiana to Florida should be on high alert for that storm. Nothing's named yet. This will likely become Tropical Storm Helene. And if it strengthens even more, Hurricane Helene, the H-named storm of the season. But anywhere from Louisiana to Florida is on alert for that storm. We won't see much from it. Frontal boundary will push through us, bringing in some cooler air. Not cold, just cooler. 88 on Wednesday, 89 on Thursday. Lows go back into the 60s with lower humidity in store. And then with that front moving through, maybe a stray shower, maybe an isolated storm Tuesday and Wednesday. Otherwise, fairly dry for the next 7 to 14 days. And you can see the first day of fall will not feel fall-like. 95 degrees, extremely hot. Partly cloudy. Winds will be around 5 to 10 miles an hour. The next week, the 29th and through early October, it looks to be pretty warm, right around 90, maybe a cool day here and there at 89 to 88, depending on what exactly unfolds at the end of this month. Obviously, things could change. The first 7 or more concrete. Obviously, rain chances will change. Exact temperatures will change. But the last 7 of the 14-day is really subject to change because of just the forecast guidance, tropics, frontal boundaries, upper level analysis. There's a lot that goes into forecasting. And it looks like, in general, last week of September, first week of October, either at or above normal. 89 to 92 is pretty much the range, except tomorrow and Monday. And then October 1 on the 14-day, 92 degrees, guys. And it looks to be, again, a little warmer than average in the lower 90s here in San Antonio. Make sure to download the KENS 5 app. You can get weather notifications every time we do live weather streams, live weather coverage, push notifications on any news inside San Antonio and across the Lone Star State. But again, that's the 14-day, first day of fall, first 14 days of fall. Not exactly chilly, but a little cooler some days, and you can see the humidity drops by Thursday and Friday. Lows back in the 60s and highs a little closer to normal, 88 to 89 by the last week of October, or at least last week of September. First few days of October look to be pretty warm, and slim rain chances by the 4th and 5th of the new month. But right now, slim rain chances through Tuesday and Wednesday, summer heat tomorrow and Monday. And we're hoping and crossing our fingers for a stronger cold front to move through sometime in October. And we'll get it. Just have to wait and see and stay tuned in the forecast. Have a wonderful Saturday night, guys. Be safe, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. Also tonight, KENS 5 News at 10 starts in about 20 minutes. We'll have the latest on the forecast, the tropics, local news, sports, everything you need to know around San Antonio. Otherwise, here's the 14-day, a little longer, guys. Have a wonderful night. Be safe and tune in to KENS 5 News at 10 in 20 minutes.